Developing tonight a scare at a Valley Middle School after some kids ate something that they should not have. The principal at Hyde Park Middle School near Valley View in Charleston sent a note to parents saying multiple students reported feeling ill after eating a candy that was brought to campus that contained cannabis. Now, medical crews did respond to the school, and the campus and the families of students involved were notified. The school's principal says this appears to be an isolated incident.